Hi traders, this is Forex Nelson and I'm back again today with another training video for my Super Sniper trading system. Today's date is April the 17th and this video will be called How to Trade the News. Video will be about 30 minutes long. So I'll be showing you high impact news for the Canadian dollar from Wednesday, April the 13th. CAD news, it's a Bank of Canada rate. And then I'll be showing you the next day on the calendar. First one was Wednesday 13th. The second one is Thursday the 14th for core retail sales. Okay, 8:30 is this one and the other one is at 10 a.m. Their Bank of Canada rate. This will move the market like at least 95% of the time. Nothing is 100%, but bank rates and rate statements is very strong news and the market will move. Now the thing is, I always start on the 15 minutes. Okay, let's take a look at that. I start on the 15 minutes, and remember that little secret about that little cursor? Here it is right here. Right there, that little cursor right here. It's called fixed chart position. And make sure the automatic scrolling feature is unchecked. So let's go to the 15 minutes. There's that line. Now the thing is, at 6 o'clock in the morning right here, or any time after that, to be honest with you, doesn't make any big deal. But it's got to be before the news, which happens on this candle at 10:30 a.m. New York time. Now I put the line 15 minutes before. So if we now, what I do every day is I'm putting together my daily trade plan, and I want to see where the strength is for the CAD dollar. In other words, like Euro CAD, Pound CAD, these other pairs, I don't trade them. I'm mostly interested in Euro CAD and Pound CAD. I want to know, is it going up or down? So after I make my trade plan, somewhere over here I'm doing it, possibly right here, I would have an arrow pointing up. Or down, just depending on how the charts look. Watch the video on how to trade higher time frames. And of course, down on the 5 minutes, it brings a clearer picture. So from way back here, this is the beginning of the up cycle, right here, an hour before. And then the AO right here turned blue. So now officially everything is blue. So candles are above the goal line. Everything is looking good. So what do? Wait for the pullback. That's the magic word, pullback. When it gets around the goal line here, 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 you can get in the trade. Prior to the news. Make sure you pull the trigger even if it's 5 minutes before. Here's 10 minutes before, here's 15 minutes before. And then look at your stop. Put a 10 pip stop in. And then you're going to let it go. Once it's going up, see how it's going up now? Is driven by the news. In other words, CAD strength, at least on the CAD Swiss. I would go back to the 15 minutes and then I would this is the way the market moves. Gives a move, pull back, move, pull back, move, pull back. So I would ignore this little section here, and around here I'll consider closing. So let's say we got in about here, and getting out around here with 50 pips. And that's basically, how I would trade the news. Now we can move on to the CAD Yen, another one. Start with the 15 minutes and see what the charts look like. So on the 15 minutes where this line is, Everything is blue buy signals from here. And then the AO turned blue there. This is 30 minutes before the news. And of course, that's 10:15. So you got to get in just before this candle starts to move. So I don't know exactly where it was. Could be a little down, a little up. But about a minute, well, go back to, what I do is go back to the 5 minutes. And that there is 5 minutes before. So candle goes above the goal line. The moving averages are converging, which is what you want to see, not diverging. And then 1 or 2 or 3 minutes before, on this candle, get in when it's at the goal line. Stop is, well, less than 20 pips. 10 pips definitely holds. And then once I'm in the trade, go back to the 15 minutes. So remember, you're in right around here. And then the market, everything is screaming to buy. And then, of course, if you want to continue to add another position, move up, pull back, you can add another position here or here. But if you did get in about here, a few minutes, 5 minutes before, I would ignore this very first pullback, which is, that could be about 20 pips, I think. Yeah, 23 pips. So I would ignore, like, this sell signal, I would ignore that. Now, if I miss entry here, I would take it here, here, or here. You have multiple times to get into the order. And then, of course, when it tops out here with about 50 pips, again, 40, 50 pips for news, especially on these pairs, I'd be okay with that. Okay, and of course, as it's going up, you definitely will see CAD strength. It'll be up at the top, and the yen market is not even open, so it may be sitting around 30, 40, 50. But if the CAD is 80% or higher, which it will be, because look at the whole move here is 84 pips, so it's got to be at least 80, more than likely. So keep an eye on that meter. Let's try the Aussie CAD. So now the CAD is on the right side as opposed to the left side. So first two we're buying, this one we're selling. Starting on the 15 minutes, there's that little cursor. See how clear this is? Selling from back here. Here and here, we're selling. So now I want to go down to the 5 minutes prior to the news, which is this candle right here. Go down to the 5 minutes and try to get in. See the difference between 15 minutes? You're far away from the goal line. Anytime you're far away from the goal line. And I know that if you really want to stay in the 15 minutes, just wait for it to spike up and then take the trade. The problem with remaining on the 15 minutes and while the news is moving it, sometimes be a little bit more difficult trying to get in the trade. You got to get in trade, a few minutes before the news. So we know it's going down. Look at this, very clear. Qualifies for a great way to trade. AO's below the waterline. Make sure you drill down the lights. And, if it's saying to sell, put an arrow back here. In other words, you're going to take the first trade here. And that's producing 45 and around 50. For the Aussie CAD, that's the ADR top left side is only 47 pips. So, the reason why it went more is because of this bank rate. So once we establish the fact we're selling, drop it down to the 5 minutes. Don't forget that little cursor. And look at this, much closer. It actually hits it here and these two right there. But you want to get in on this candle because this is your, what time was that news again? I have to double check that. 10 o'clock, here it is right here, 10 o'clock. So 10 o'clock, there it is right there, 10 o'clock a.m. New York time. get in on this candle. Well, here or here is fine. When it goes up, get in. Stop is, let's go with, 15 to 20 pips. You're risking. It never even came close. Look at that, 20. And it just went straight down, giving you 30. Remember, these pairs, 20, 30, 40 pips. Don't expect 100 or 200 pips. Anyhow, so if we go back to the, let's see now. Next one, EuroCAD. So now every once in a while, no matter what the CAD is doing, if the euro is also strong, then you're going to get this bouncing around and sideways until eventually, let's see, this one went down. This one didn't do much of anything. So when you're drilling down the lights, this one may be really like extreme mixed signals, at which point I would just forget about trading the EuroCAD. Something just doesn't look right. Okay, let's check out this pound CAD. 15 minutes, you see what I mean? Moving averages cross. Here's a pullback. This one is better. See, if it doesn't hit the moving averages, many times it'll come back. And as it's hitting the moving averages, it's hitting support. So support, support, support. News candle, let's see. I don't know what this was. Oh, that's the news. Sorry about that. Let's put that line at the wrong spot, right? 9:45. What did they say? Here's 10. Oh, that's the news right there. 9:45. This is the news candle. But from here to the left, everything is looking good for going up. See what I mean? Goal line going up. Everything qualifies for a great way to trade. So what do? Well, drop it down to the 5 minutes. And 5 minutes before the news, right there. Now sometimes you have this, and sometimes it'll drive you nuts. So if you happen to pull the trigger here, it still went 37 pips. So remember, when you get to the euro and the pound pairs, these workhorses jump around more so. Now you have your choice, pulling the trigger before, and you're thinking it's just going to go up. But, it went sideways and then finally went up a bit. And you will have trades. You're not going to win 100% of your trades. So if you put in a 20 pip stop and it hits you out, well, that's just the way trading goes. So it's very important that you still maintain your trade management and money management. Very important. Remember, all you can do is prior to the news, 15 minutes or a little bit more, is drill down the lights, check the higher time frames, make sure the charts look good. Like here, this is looking good. Every time it comes back to the moving averages or the goal line, you can get in. You're just going to trade what you see, and if it hits your stop, well, that's the way trading goes. Let's just try this, let's see, dollar CAD. Start with the 15 minutes. 15 minutes, everything looks like it's coming from the top. Beginning of the cycle is here for going down. Moving averages are starting to pinch together. This is your news candle right here. It's 10. Where's that 10? Right here. Sorry about that. That's 10, 9:45, I should say. There's the news, spiked up and down. But down here, this is your clue, selling. Drop it down to the 5 minutes to see if you can get in the trade. So from back here, again, we're selling. We're going to pull the trigger, goal line, or if you can get a little bit higher up, stop has to go there within 20 pips. Once it's done this little bouncing, and then of course, CAD strength, guess what happened? Dollar CAD is going down. Almost 100, well, that is 100 pips. So once you're in the trade, you can go back to the 15 minutes. Let's say you got in at the goal line, and there's your, well, around at least 85 pips. So it depends on what time frame you're on and when you pull the trigger. So 85 to 100 pips. Another excellent trade. So that was example high impact news bank rates on the 13th. On April the 14th, the next day, right here, the 14th, let's see, 8:30 a.m. USD core retail sales. Another one, actually looking at it now, it's positive here and it's negative here. So it could go up and it could go down. That's why it's important. Make sure, 30 minutes before, check the higher time frames, do your daily trade plan, and once it's established, whether you're buying or selling, so let's see now, dollar CAD. I've got the dollar CAD over here, so it's starting here. All the dollar pairs, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So the dollar's on the right side, so that means means we're buying the dollar. Aussie dollar will be going down. So right from back here, remember after you've done the trade plan, put an arrow, like around here, down. Moving averages cross, they're starting to separate. Down at the bottom, the goal line's going down, below the water line. Look at everything here. It's very important. We're selling on a pullback. So selling at 7:30, 7:45, 8 o'clock, anywhere as close to the goal line as possible. Stop will be, 10 pips. Don't need much more than that. And then it just, news kicked in, and it dropped for 50 pips. And the news kicked in 8:30 right here. Did a little jumping, stabilized, and just kept going down based on the dollar USD. And that was all based on dollar strength. In other words, dollar CAD, dollar Swiss, dollar yen should be going up. And if you want to trade all the dollar pairs, it's possible. Euro dollar is right here, same as the Aussie dollar, going down. There's your long candle from 7:45, 45 minutes before. And then remember, you're waiting for the pullback. At this point, where's that little cursor? Here's the cursor here. Drop it down to the 5 minutes. So long candle, wait for the pullback. That's the magic. Let's see where the news is. Oh, the news is right. This is right here, 5 minutes before. 5 minutes before. There you go. So prior to the news, the moving averages are looking great. Goal line's going down. Qualifies for a great way to trade right from here. You're always waiting for the pullback. Now, of course, you got to get into trade before the news, because that's the news candle right there. So if you're getting in anywhere through here, remember, it's based on higher time frames. In other words, let's say you got 1 hour, 4 hours, or even a daily telling you to sell this euro dollar. Take the trade. If you took the trade here, that's your stop. 17. Let's go with 20. It only went against you 5. And then you're going to stay in the trade until you get a reason to get out. And look at that. It's over 100 pips. Excellent euro dollar trade. And I just brought the blue box in by going, 30 minutes back to the 5, and there it is right there. From the top to the bottom, or vice versa. There's that. It's 160 pips. Excellent. Let's take a look at this pound dollar. Remember, dollar's on the right side. It's going down based on dollar strength. So after the daily trade plan, we know we want to be selling. Pop in a down arrow. Go back to the 5 minutes. And then all you're waiting for is, see, I didn't put that little cursor there. That's why the charts moved. If you put the cursor there, change time frames, it stays steady. So there's your move. Let's see what time that is first of all. There it is, 15 minutes before. That's your news candle right there. So all you're waiting for is as close to the moving averages as possible. So this candle or this candle you're in, with anywhere from 8 to about 20 pips, will hold. Then you're going to stay in the trade until you start to see the TZ coming from the bottom, timing, and you're getting more blue. So around here, or here, or here, you know, that's a good 80, 85 pips. And that's pretty good for the pound dollar. Okay, let's check out this New Zealand dollar. Again, dollar's on the right side. Based on dollar strength, New Zealand dollar will be going down. Drill down the lights. Make your daily trade plan. Says sell, put a down arrow. Drop it down and make sure that little cursor, sometimes I forget to do that. Here it is here. As soon as I can get it. There it is. Just bring that little cursor over. Drop it down to the 5 minutes. The charts will stay the same position. The blue box is 57 pips. You know, I can't remember the last time I ever did the New Zealand dollar. But this is just news. Now what we want to see is a lot of red. AO can be on the top, but it's got to be red. Look at the bulls. The bears are from here. That's your beginning of your down cycle. When it goes from, like over here, from blue to red, beginning of the down cycle. Blue to red, beginning of the down cycle. So this is 35 minutes before the news. Let's bring this little thing over a little bit more. That's the news right there. 5 minutes before. So prior to the news, all you're waiting for is a pullback, round the goal line, get in. Pullback, round the goal line, get in. Stop is only 10 pips. And you can go back if you so desire to the 15 minutes, and then, you know, you might be too nervous about staying in the trade here. So let's go back to the 15 and see what that looks like. See, much better. See this pullback this pullback here is right here, and you're getting buy signals down at the bottom. But if you go to the 15 minutes, there's no buy signals down at the bottom. So once you're in the trade at the goal line here, then you're going to stay in the trade until you get a buy signal, which is right here. 34 pips. If you get into the habit of just hanging around for at least one or more, you know, a candle or two, it's going to go from 34 to 40. Next is 6 pips, and that'll cover your spread that you pay the broker. Now the dollar is on the left side. Remember what I said? Based on dollar strength. Let's check the 15 minutes. There's that little cursor. Moving averages are converging. Price action, half an hour before, is above the goal line here and here. And we have a lot of blue down at the bottom from here. Buy signals. You wait for the pullback. You can actually leave it on the 15 minutes. Now, or actually I do prefer the 5. So I can pinpoint the entry. That's 5 minutes before the news. This is the news candle right here. Price actions above and the beginning of the cycle. when it goes from red to blue. TZ is going up. So right here you can get in, or anywhere across here. Stop anywhere from 10 to, I wouldn't do 30, but 10 to 20 pips will cover it. And then if you're worried about sell signals like down here and here, and of course if you want to, well, you can always go to the 15 minutes, or if you stay on the 5 every time it comes back to the moving averages, get in. Producing 65 pips. 46, 65. Let's try this dollar CAD. Dollar Swiss. Remember, dollar's left side, so we're buying. Now, this chart here, dollar CAD, does not look as good as this dollar Swiss. See what I mean? Moving averages cross. They're diverging. You can drop it down to the 5 minutes. These candles here will be closer to the goal line, which I'm about to show you. Make sure we have that little cursor here so the charts don't jump all over the place. If you drop it now, that's 15 minutes before the news. And the catch is, get in before the news. And if your trade plan says to buy, you would have an arrow here. You can easily drop it down to the 5 minutes. Those candles are hitting the moving averages all the way through here and here. That's 15 minutes before the news. Oops. 5 minutes before the news. So as the candle's coming back 5 minutes before the news, if you pull the trigger here, your stop is only 12 pips, or even 15, not a big deal. Went against you 2 pips, and then you can stay in the trade until you see it dying out with more than 60 pips. And of course, if you want to continue to trade on the 5 minutes, comes back to the moving averages, well, grab another 20 pips. But I'm not trading, at 11:30, lunchtime. I'm not trading, at that time. I am done trading for the day. And of course, as it's going up, you will notice that the dollar will be at the top. Anytime you can get close to 100 pips, the dollar should be around 80 to make a move like that, considering the ADR on the dollar Swiss is only 66 pips. So this was news driven, and the meter will be showing that to you. Let's move on to the last pair, dollar yen, another one continuing to go up. Everything is telling you from back here to buy. AO turned blue there. This is 30 minutes before the news. Once you establish the fact that you want to be buying according to your trade plan, waiting for price action to go on top of the goal line, because you're going to get in around the goal line. Let's check the 15 minutes. Now this is why you have to get into, go down to the 5 minutes, so these candles will go above the, here it is here, all these candles. 5 minutes before, no, that's 10 minutes before. What time is that? 5 minutes before, 10 minutes before. You could pull the trigger right on the goal line with a 12 pip stop. I would ignore anything that resembles a sell down at the bottom. Just going to follow the TZ, and as soon as it starts hooking up right here on this candle, it's just telling me it's going to keep going up for around 66 pips. Now of course, if you miss this entry around here, you can get in on this red candle as it's starting to go up, or this wick, and that's producing 40 pips. So in a nutshell, rules are simple. Put together your trade plan, decide if the market's going to go up or down, and try to get in the trade at least 5 minutes before, going in the direction that looks, that the charts are telling you. And then as the market is moving, keep an eye on the meter. Again, as it's going, you must manage the trade. When it gets to about this candle continuing up, if your stop was here or here, you can put your stop to here. So trade management is very important. So we're at 30 minutes, time to wrap up this one video on how to trade the news. Actually 2 different high impact news on different days. Now of course, if you have any questions, all you got to do is get in contact with me. And if not, good luck trading, and we'll see you in the next video.